Well, we're right at it today. Today is Friday, November 11th, and we're into the dry corn. The silo's just about full. We've got to let it sit for a day or two to settle out. We started filling it on Tuesday afternoon, and it's only down a couple of doors right now, so we've moved over into dry corn. We went from the high moisture corn being 27 to 30% to this dry corn here that's anywhere from 15 to 19%. But the trouble that we're having is the corn is so dry that just as soon as the head pulls the stalk down through to pull the ear of corn off, the ear is hitting the header and it's shattering from the corn being pulled through the head so fast. So I've got the header speed slowed right down to nothing. You can kind of see the header is doing some shelling right now. I've got the header speed slowed down to as slow as it'll go, and I'm trying to keep my ground speed up so that we can keep enough crop coming in fast to sweep all them kernels in. We're running right at 7 miles an hour. I know some guys might think that's a little fast, but as long as the combine can do the job on the back end, we're trying to make it do the job on the front end too without losing so much here. Well, I was going to show you the corn as it was coming into the bend, because it's coming into the bend at a pretty good rate. I can do fancy things and stop and get out and try to demonstrate how smart I am, like some of the other guys do here, and actually show you that the loss is up in front and not coming out the back, more or less. You'll just have to take my word for it. I'm not going to get out and show you what kind of a job the combine's doing here, but we've got the loss coming up front, and that's all there is to it. So we're supposed to get anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of rain here in the next couple of hours. There's a storm moving up the coast. It was a hurricane that's kind of savage things, I should say, down in Florida, and it's making its way up through. So we're gonna go from a dry harvest to a wet one here in a matter of a few hours. So we'll join up with you in a little while here. We've got more wet corn to do, but like I said, we've got to wait until the silo settles out some. So we'll join up with you in a little while. You can see the sky is a little gray, but the storm's going to be coming in from the south, I assume anyways, and we're great, not as great to the west, but we're pretty good and gray to the south. So we're just going to keep plugging away. I got to get my ground speed up, and we've got to try to prevent as much loss as we can here. Maybe if anything else, maybe the rain will soften things up a little bit so that everything isn't so dry and hard, and maybe we'll save a little bit on what we're losing. So we'll join up with you in a while here. Well, we are now experiencing our first breakdown. You'll happen to notice that we're leaning a little bit, and we are leaning a little bit because this tire on this side has no wind in it. So I've got Kyle, he's coming over, he's going to bring a tire with him. I figured I would go ahead and get the weight off of the combine. I turned the corner, I just turned the headland. I noticed the head wasn't quite sitting right going along, and then I got through this little ditch behind me here, and it was kind of sliding a little bit. I'm like, what the heck? It's raining a little, but it's not muddy. What the heck's going on? So I stopped, got out and this tire here was soft, but I didn't dare move it because I didn't know what was going on with it. I wanted to actually see if I could see something stuck in the tire, because I don't know at this point what kind of shape the tire is in. So the grain buggy was too high to fit underneath the auger, and this truck 9 here was empty, and I figured we would go ahead and just try to wiggle it underneath it. Now if we couldn't get it empty, we wouldn't have been able to get it empty, but we put the hoist up, got that little bit of weight off. Crazy, we just unloaded, right? We haven't, there's only 80 bushel maybe in the combine here, so I'm going to jump down off of here. We're going to try to sneak the truck out from underneath the auger, and then we might as well get this auger folded back up and wait for Kyle to get here. We probably have maybe 3 hours that we're going to be broke down here, and probably by then the rain is going to have moved in and shut us down for the rest of the day. So this is our first breakdown. We broke down in this field last year. Right here is right in this one spot. We had belts burned up on the straw chopper, right? Yeah, the belts burned up on the straw chopper, and the straw chopper plugged the whole back of the combine. Remember we dug the combine out down there? Alex went and got the belts. So, well, we have not injured this boot at all yet this year. We've been really good about that. And this does have, it doesn't look like it's new, but this outer auger tube hasn't had much grain put through it. And the auger itself is, I don't know if that's, yeah, that's slightly used, not all that much used. Previous guy that had this wanted a longer auger, and or he wanted an open tube or something. But at any rate, that's what we've got on there. I wish this had a longer auger on it. And if it had a longer auger on it, the auger comes out of the combine on an angle like this. The longer you are, the taller it is. So let's go ahead and get this out from underneath the truck, or get the truck out from underneath the auger. Well, we ended up getting the bin offloaded, and that still had a little bit of air in it just minutes before we stopped. And by the time we got over to get the truck underneath the auger, it actually came off the bead. So we got our tire man here right now, and he's got a tire with him. We're not quite sure what is wrong with this. There was some rubber up on here, so I don't know if maybe the rim slipped inside the tire and if it's actually got the bead ruined or not. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I can move that. Yeah, move that truck there. So I almost think the rim slipped inside the tire. This combine's got so much power that it probably spun the rim inside the tire. So we'll see what we get into here with this job here. So it'd be nice if it was around the other way, uphill on the tire side here, but we're getting some rain, and just something we have to deal with here. So let's get at her here. He's got a new tire in there. We ended up replacing these back tires because we didn't want to have a tire problem, and here we are. We've got one. Kyle's got a airbag jack underneath there right now. Being that there's limited room to get a jack in there, that's what he's using to get it up off the ground. And then the thought is maybe get some air in it, see what it looks like, get some better blocking underneath there, and then start working on it. So that's what this authentic airbag jack looks like here. He's right underneath that one main frame support there. He's gonna swing his hired man over into place. Maybe I should go up on my side. Almost. I think it's going. It's going. I think it's going. Yeah, going. Alright, so we got wind going back in it, and we found the injury. Probably hit a stone or something here. And what we're going to do is get this off of the side hill, get it down on the level, and then go to working on it down there, just so that we're not on this side hill here. So we'll join up with you in a little while here once we get this into a better position. We are now repositioned, got the machine down on level ground. He's got a jack underneath there so that we can get situated. Sidewall injury right there. He's going to dismount the tire from the wheel, but this wheel here, the tire has to come off of the wheel the other way, so it's got to be unbolted, and then he'll have to work on it out here. We won't know what the extent of the injury is until he gets it dismounted and broke down. We did bend up some of the framework here from when one of these traction lugs came around, so we've got to straighten that and get that back together here. Got the combine all jacked up, the wheels up off the ground high enough now to be able to pull the actual wheel itself. There's two jacks underneath there. Everything's all nice and safe like. he's going to get the studs removed. Then he'll have to get a chain wrapped around it and get her pulled off. Now he's going to dismount the tire from the rim. It has to come off of this side because of the way the rim has what's called a double drop in it, kind of like the way a lot of rims are. Just happens to be on these combine wheels. They put the drop on the inside. So he'll get that dismounted. We're going to have to open this door up here, whack this with a sledgehammer. We're all kind of out of whack there. A traction lug must have come around and hit the side of that and bent it. So we'll show you what this tire looks like here in a little while. Maybe you guys want to see how he does this. Bang. Huh?
That's not everyone on this side. I was shining my light on this side. Black snow.
Yeah. What's your thoughts? Tires junk? Tires junk. This guy not only works on tires, but he sells tires too. But no, the tire, who knows? I only drove from up on that top side down the headland and across this side here, so junk from probably driving on it, or do you think there was something else that failed earlier on?
That's heat from the squatting too much that is going down.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he's got a new tire in there, and maybe we put some bubble gum on it, put the tire on Marketplace, you know, a couple $100, send her down the road.
Slightly used.
Yeah. Well, he'll toss this out of the way, grab his other one, and while he's doing that, maybe I can get Sarah to run the camera here while he's swapping tires, but I got to get a sledgehammer and pound that guy out here. What is that stuff you're pouring in? Tire conditioner?
Yeah.
So he put about 2.5 gallons in there. We happened to show him the cosmetic hammer and work I did there. It's all nice and straight now. That looks nice. Well, he'll just finish putting the air in that tire, get it mounted back on there, bolt it back on. We'll get his jacks out from underneath it, get the cribbing out, and then we have received enough rain now that we're not going to continue with any more combining today. So we replaced these back tires so that we wouldn't have an issue with them. These front ones were put on a couple of years ago. We had a tire that we had a spare for the chopper, and it didn't fit the new chopper, the chopper that we currently have now anymore. So I bought another tire to match it to replace the drive tires that were on the front of this combine. Now the drive tires that were on the front of this were bias tires. These are radials, and the radials made a real big difference with getting through the mud. The radial tires, they would balloon, and they would have just like it was like a beach ball going through the mud. These radials have a square, flat surface to them when they're on the ground to get more traction. So this is pretty basic as far as it going back together here. We're gonna get you guys out of the rain because I keep having to wipe the lens off here. So he'll put his water valve back in there. He pulls the water valve out so the tire will air up faster. And he's just gotta get the tire dropped down to the right amount of pressure here, and then you can bolt that back on. A little more. Unless you think that'll lift it. Whoa! Well, I guess that's going to do it for this repair. We're rained off here. We're not going to do any combining. We're just going to end up plugging the sieves up and whatever. So we lost the time with the flat tire. The other breakdown I have is I had a tree branch take this light off the other day, so I got to get a new one of them on there. So that's how that job's done. He's going to take this tire back and throw it in our dooryard. He don't want it. Maybe we'll put it on Craigslist. Just kidding. It ain't worth nothing. So And that is what it is. Well, this is the field here that we were doing the other night during the live stream. You can kind of see the cell tower there in the background. Looks like them guys got done with the work they were doing on it, because they had a sandwich board sign down there saying danger, stay away, and that's gone now, and there's no vehicles down in there. So Andrew's run the bush hog all day today. They didn't have school, being that it is Veterans Day, and it looks like he's got just a little bit left here of this 11-acre field, and he's got, I don't know, there's 15 or 16 down the road. I don't know if he's done that yet or not, but he could shut down right now and finish doing this here tomorrow. So this is a 20-foot John Deere bush hog. We've had it for, I don't know, 8-9 years now. We just keep putting blades on it and run it. It's kind of tired looking, but it does the job. So he's pulling it with an 8220. This tractor here we bought from my uncle. He ran a 12-row corn planter with it, and we bought the corn planter as well. So we'll be able to run a 16-row and a 12-row come 2023. Now this tractor is set up to plant corn, and it's got the wheels set where they need to be able to ride through and in between the corn rows. If you didn't have wheels set, you would be running over the corn, and you wouldn't be actually chopping up the actual corn stalks. Now we like to run the bush hog over the standing stalk because it chops up the material, and it actually gives us some soft, absorbent material to soak up manure. So if we chose to apply manure to this ground without injecting it, we wouldn't have to worry about runoff, because this corn stalk material is going to absorb the manure. So that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll catch you at the next one. When I started off the day today, I kind of worried about what we were going to have for material to throw into a video, and lo and behold, we had a couple events happen. Now this is the first rain that we have received all fall here, and this tractor is relatively clean, but in the next couple days it's going to get dirty because the ground is getting wet. But that's what you deal with. That's farming. Take it easy, folks. We'll catch you at the next one.